crafters, welcome to the Crafty Corner. Today we have a beautiful picture to make. This is one of my favorites. Of course, I love purple. So in the springtime, we need to have a watering can to water our flowers. And this is a beautiful bouquet of purple and white flowers. And I'm going to show you how to make this today. Come on down to the library. We have packets ready for you. Everything you need to make this will be in your packet. So you're going to have a cute little cutout bunny rabbit. You have the template for the watering can, the brown piece of paper, the gray piece of paper. You should have a purple ribbon, and hopefully they've given you a glue dot because I asked them to. So hopefully you have a glue dot in there. If not, maybe you have glue dots at home. Now you do need to provide, you also will have a straw or two. You will need to provide for yourself your own paint. But the rest of this is pretty easy. So let's get started right away. We're going to make our watering can. So you just need to get a scissors. And I am going to go ahead and cut off this bottom white part because it's easier to hold a half a sheet of paper than a whole sheet of paper. Now, because it's a template, okay, that's another good art word you guys need to know. We are going to lay it right on top of the purple, and we're going to hold it still, and we're just going to cut like we are cutting the white out. But with the brown underneath, you are going to get a watering can when you're done. It's like magic. You don't have to cut and trace. You can just cut right on top, but you have to hold the white piece of paper really still. Okay, and so see, I've cut away some of it. I'm going to throw this part away. It's going to be easier to hold the less paper you have. So let's get the spout. Let's finish getting this part. And we're cutting around and then down. And it does not have to be exactly on the line, but near it in order for you to get the same shape that the picture is. There you go. We just throw both of that away. And what you have left is the watering can. But now you do need to do this part. So in order to get a hole, I'm going to fold it just a little bit and make a little nick with my scissors. Not a big nick, but just enough to be able to stick the scissors through and then cut that part out so that you can see the handle, the arm of the watering can. Okay, and then we can throw this part away too, and we have a beautiful watering can. All right, so here's our watering can. I gave you a little bunny just in case you wanted to use it. It just sort of adds a little to the whole picture. So we're going to want to glue our watering can down, and the glue stick would probably, it will probably hold the two as long as you get enough on there. And as long as you get all the edges, glue that watering can near the bottom. Okay, and then we can glue our little rabbit right there next to it. Like Peter Rabbit sitting outside. This is a very small rabbit or a very large watering can, either way, but it still adds a little niftiness to this project. Okay, then you're going to want to make some grass. So if you have a marker or a crayon, just make these little lines, not always going straight, some of them curving a little bit, up and down, curving around, okay? You have the watering can sitting out in the grass, ready to be used to water the flowers. We can put a little dot here for the eye of the bunny. And if you wanted to, you could make a little bit of pink in his ears, little pink around his tail, just to give him a little bit of a highlight so that he looks a little cuter. The watering can has to have holes, this part of it, for the water to be able to fall out. So we want to add that detail. And now we're going to get ready to make our beautiful flowers. So flowers have stems. So I'm going to, with my green, just add some stems here. About 5 of them. Works really well. And then we're going to use white and purple paint. And we're using a straw. So I'll show you how that works. So I'm going to give myself a little dab of white and a little dab of purple. Now these paints can be found at Walmart and they're not very expensive, less than $2. And that's for the big one. They're definitely less, or close to $1 for the smaller ones. Now, with your straw, you are going to want to take your scissors and very carefully make, I think it's 4 cuts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I made them about a 1/2 inch long. And so when you spread this out, you're going to have what's going to look like a flower petal. Here, let me come over here. There, you can see that it makes like a cross. So I'm going to dip that straw into the purple. Okay. And then I'm just going to go up my green. This one's not cooperating real well. This one is not cooperating. Lay down. Okay. I think every single time you go back, you're going to want to dip it into paint. And maybe I made my cuts a little too long. So let me try again. Maybe on this side, and just not cut so long. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe if I make smaller cuts, it works better. Lay those down, press them down. Let's see if that makes the better flower. So I'm going to take it and just sort of twirl it around a little bit. We're going to get these like lavender flowers. Got the petals sticking out. I'm a little surprised that it's not quite looking like the ones I had before. So I'm a little befuddled, boys and girls. Not quite looking like the way, it's not quite looking the way I had it before. So let's try making 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuts. And I'm not making them very long, making them short. So maybe my problem was that I needed 5 and not just 4. And this part is a little tricky to get it to lay down. Where's the other arm? Okay. That looks like a flower, doesn't it? Let's see if that is going to make a better imprint on the paper. There we go. Okay. So once you get the purple on there, whether you're using 4 or 5 petals, we're going to take the white and go over it again. Yeah, I'm thinking the 5 is what we wanted, boys and girls. And I know it sort of looks like a mess, but once we get that white on there, yeah, see, look at how much prettier that looks with the 5 cuts. So I hope you watch the whole video or have 2 straws ready. And I'm just going to spin the color a little bit. Okay, so then I'm taking the white on top of it. And now with that purple underneath, see what magic works. It looks so pretty. And if you have enough paint on there, just to plop it down on top of that purple, and you get a much better flower. That one was really pretty. So it's the 2-tone, so don't worry too much about that purple underneath. And if you wanted to use red or orange, you could use different color flowers. And it looks like I'm going to need a little bit more purple paint. I'm sorry, I'm using the white, aren't I, boys and girls? All right, a little bit more white. And a lot of paint right there, nice thick paint. And it makes it look so cool when you have the 2-tone paint colors together. All right. And you make this beautiful bouquet of flowers by using a straw. I don't know if you've ever tried this before. And obviously it took Miss Lisa some time to remember how to do it. All right. I love it. Okay, so now once you have your flowers all done, we can top off the whole project by making a little bow. So when you have your ribbon like this, you want to find the middle, and you're going to want to make a loop. Take a longer strand right here and wrap around and go underneath and through, just like you would with tying your shoe, and you make a little knot. So once you have your little ribbon the way you want it, if we use a glue dot, let me show you here. You peel this off, you put it where you want it, and you rub it, and the glue dot stays right there. And then you press the ribbon inside it, and voila, no messy glue. Isn't that awesome? All right, boys and girls, I think we are finished. Remember that when you're using paint, that you should probably lay it down. Isn't that beautiful? Lay it down to dry for a while before you want to hang it up anywhere. All right, thank you so much for watching me, Miss Lisa, for the Fayette County Public Library here at the Crafty Corner. I will see you again next week for another really nice craft. Bye now.